The phylum Platyhelminthes consists of four classifications. One is class Turbellaria, second is class Monogenea, third is class Trematoda, and fourth, class Cestoda. Class Turbellaria. They are a largely free-living flatworms, which considered as an invalid class that is either paraphyletic or polyphyletic. They rely on diffusion for internal transport of metabolites. Most species are hunters or scavengers. Their bodies are unsegmented and possess true bilateral symmetry. Some cephalization and has a blind-ending gut, and they possess flame cells for excretion. Bedford's flatworm belongs to the genus of Pseudobicerus, a genus that engage with penis fencing. When the winner touches its penis to the skin of the other, insemination occurs, and the loser has to bear the burden of motherhood. The habitat for Pseudobicerus bedfordi is mainly benthic and found in shallow marine habitats among rocks and crevices, in a bay, lagoon, or on a reef, commonly found under rubble or a reef crest. The size of Pseudobicerus bedfordi ranges from 8 to 10 centimeters, having thin ribbon-like elongated or oval-shaped bodies a millimeter thick. They undergo metamorphosis. After 10 days of development, the larvae hatch and are lobed with cilia. The larva then enters the planktonic phase and swim around for a few days before settling onto a place with a sufficient source of food. There, they metamorphose into adult benthic forms. Pseudobicerus bedfordi preys mainly on ascidians as well as small crustaceans. They feed like a starfish, gliding over the organism and extruding their pharynx that releases enzymes. The enzymes digest the tissue of their prey, then suck the body liquids. Taxonomy of the example. Scientific classification. Domain, Eukarya. Kingdom, Animalia. Phylum, Platyhelminthes. Class, Turbellaria. Order, Polycladida. Family, Pseudoceratidae. Genus, Pseudobicerus. Species, Pseudobicerus bedfordi. Class Monogenea. They are a group of ectoparasitic flatworms commonly found on the skin, gills, or fins of fish. They lack respiratory, skeletal, and circulatory systems and have no or weakly developed oral suckers. Like other flatworms, Monogenea has no true body cavity. They have a simple digestive system consisting of a mouth opening with a muscular pharynx and an intestine with no terminal opening. They have a direct life cycle and do not require an intermediate host. Adults are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female reproductive structures. One example is the Polystoma integerrimum. It is a leaf-like flatworm that is found in amphibians in Asia and Europe. It is an endoparasite of frogs and toads. Has an unusual life cycle that synchronizes with its host. Its mouth is connected to a muscular pharynx, an esophagus, and a gut, but it has no anus. It can grow to a maximum length of about 3 centimeters. Taxonomy of the example. Scientific classification. Domain, Eukarya. Kingdom, Animalia. Phylum, Platyhelminthes. Class, Monogenea. Family, Polystomatidae. Genus, Polystoma. Species, Polystoma integerrimum. Class Trematoda. They are a group of obligate parasitic flatworms, commonly called flukes. Unlike the class Turbellaria, Trematoda cannot survive without a host, have two additional anatomical structures that enable their parasitic lifestyle: oral sucker surrounding the mouth and a ventral sucker on the ventral surface. The suckers can be used to attach surely to the host and to assist in feeding off the host tissues. Typically, adult flukes inhabit the circulatory system or the liver of a host organism. One example is the Schistosoma japonicum, one of the species in the genus Schistosoma that causes schistosomiasis. They can be found in China, Taiwan, the Philippines, and Southeast Asia. These species must have snail and vertebrate hosts to survive. The snail it uses lives in warm freshwater streams, ponds, and ditches. They have a complex life cycle with many stages. Reproduces sexually. Male and female must mate in the veins of the host before the female can lay eggs. However, the larva inside the snail reproduces asexually and produce daughter sporocysts. Then, the daughter sporocysts reproduce asexually again and produce cercaria. It is in this stage that they enter humans and other vertebrates. The cercaria emerge from the snail host and swim in the water. If they contact the host, they quickly stick to the skin and shed their tail. Then, they secrete digestive compounds that allow them to penetrate the skin of the host and enter the host's circulatory system. They transform again, this time into adult worms that live in the veins of the small intestine. Source of food. Sporocysts absorb nutrients through its skin, while the adults feed from the blood in the intestinal veins. Taxonomy of the example. Scientific classification. Domain, Eukarya. Kingdom, Animalia. Phylum, Platyhelminthes. Class, Trematoda. Order, Diplostomida. Family, Schistosomatidae. Genus, Schistosoma. Species, Schistosoma japonicum. Class, Cestoda. Cestodes are long, flat, ribbon-like parasites that are also known as tapeworms. One or more hooked suckers on the head or scolex allow for a secure connection to the host. The neck, which is the growth area, is located behind the head. Each of the body segments contains reproductive organs. Some species can reach lengths of up to 15 meters. Life cycles require 1, 2, or 3 intermediate hosts. Many life cycles involve men and domestic animals. Their bodies are long and flat, made up of many segments called proglottids. One example is the Taenia saginata. Taxonomy of the example. Domain, Eukarya. Kingdom, Animalia. Phylum, Platyhelminthes. Class, Cestoda. Family, Taenidae. Genus, Taenia linnaeus. Species, Taenia saginata.